Have you ever felt trapped in the chaos created by a narcissist? Their manipulation, arrogance, and relentless need for control can leave you drained, doubting yourself, and wondering if you'll ever break free. But here's the truth. Narcissists thrive on predictability. They expect emotional reactions, blind loyalty, and people bending to their will. What they never expect is for you to rise above their games, grounded in strength, clarity, and self-respect. Imagine this. You're no longer the person who gets tangled in their traps. Instead, you set boundaries they can't cross. Walk away from their chaos without a backward glance, and live your life authentically, untouched by their attempts to dominate. They're left powerless, watching you thrive in ways they never anticipated. This is where Stoicism comes in. With its timeless principles of self-control, emotional resilience, and rational thinking, you can outsmart narcissists without stooping to their level. In this video, we'll explore the Stoic strategies and traits that narcissists never see coming. Actions that make them question their power and regret ever underestimating you. If you're ready to regain control, protect your peace, and leave a narcissist regretting their attempts to manipulate you, keep watching. These lessons might just transform the way you handle toxic people forever. 1. Setting unshakable boundaries. Narcissists excel at testing limits, pushing boundaries and manipulating people into giving more than they should. What they never expect, however, is someone who firmly and consistently stands their ground. Setting unshakable boundaries is like building an invisible shield that narcissists can't penetrate, no matter how hard they try. Stoicism teaches us to respect ourselves by maintaining control over what we allow into our lives. When dealing with a narcissist, this means clearly defining what behavior is acceptable and what isn't, and sticking to it. Whether it's limiting contact, refusing to engage in manipulative conversations, or saying no to unreasonable demands, strong boundaries communicate self-respect and deny the narcissist the control they seek. Narcissists often exploit ambiguity, so your boundaries must be explicit and unwavering. For example, if they try to provoke you into an argument, you can calmly say, "I won't engage in this discussion right now," and walk away. The key is to remain consistent, regardless of how much they push back. By maintaining your boundaries, you show the narcissist that their usual tactics won't work on you. This frustrates them and forces them to reconsider their approach, leaving them powerless and often regretting their inability to manipulate you as they expected. 2. Walking away without drama. Few things disarm a narcissist more effectively than refusing to give them the emotional reaction they crave. Narcissists thrive on conflict, drama, and the attention they get from creating chaos. When you walk away calmly and decisively, you take away their power, leaving them stunned and unable to regain control. Stoicism teaches us to respond with reason, not emotion. Instead of getting drawn into their games, calmly disengage. If they try to provoke you with insults or manipulation, take a breath and leave the situation without raising your voice or defending yourself. Your lack of reaction sends a clear message. Their behavior no longer has any influence over you. Walking away without drama also preserves your peace and prevents you from being dragged into a cycle of frustration. Imagine the impact when, instead of arguing or pleading, you simply say, "I'm not discussing this," and leave. The narcissist, expecting a fight or an emotional plea, is left powerless and confused. This act of quiet strength not only protects your mental well-being, but also forces the narcissist to confront their inability to control you. Over time, this unexpected reaction can make them regret underestimating your resolve and self-control. 3. Showing indifference. Narcissists are experts at seeking attention and provoking reactions. They thrive on knowing they can manipulate your emotions, whether through charm, criticism, or conflict. But nothing throws them off balance more than indifference. Ignoring their attempts to get under your skin sends a powerful message. Their behavior no longer holds sway over you. Indifference, rooted in Stoic philosophy, is the art of emotional detachment. Instead of reacting to their provocations, you maintain a calm and unshaken demeanor. If they insult you, dismiss their attempts with a simple shrug or silence. If they try to bait you into an argument, respond with a neutral comment like, "I see your perspective," and move on. This lack of engagement frustrates narcissists because it denies them the control they crave. They thrive on validation, positive or negative, and when you refuse to play their game, they're left feeling powerless. Over time, your indifference forces them to seek attention elsewhere, as they realize their tactics are ineffective. By practicing indifference, you protect your peace and reclaim your power. Narcissists never expect to lose their grip on someone they've targeted, making your calm detachment a strategy they can neither understand nor overcome. 4. Thriving without their validation. One of the narcissist's most effective tools is making others dependent on their approval. They create a dynamic where their validation becomes the benchmark for your self-worth. But when you break free from this dependency and thrive on your own terms, you shatter their illusion of control and leave them reeling. Stoicism emphasizes self-sufficiency and finding strength within. By aligning your sense of worth with your own values and actions, you no longer need the narcissist's praise or anyone else's to feel good about yourself. This shift is transformative, as it strips them of the ability to manipulate you through their approval or disapproval. Imagine a scenario where they try to belittle your achievements, expecting you to seek their validation. Instead, you calmly acknowledge your success without seeking their input. Your confidence in yourself leaves them powerless, as their attempts to diminish you fall flat. Thriving without their validation is the ultimate blow to a narcissist's ego. It proves that their influence is no longer essential to your happiness or success. By showing that you're flourishing independently, you not only protect your peace, but also make them regret losing the control they once thought was guaranteed. 5. Calling out their behavior subtly. Narcissists excel at manipulation, often relying on confusion or emotional reactions to maintain control. However, when you calmly and subtly expose their tactics, it throws them off guard. This approach isn't about direct confrontation, which they thrive on, but about shining a quiet light on their behavior, leaving them feeling exposed without the satisfaction of drama. For example, if a narcissist tries to gaslight you by denying something they said, respond with a neutral but factual statement. "I remember it differently, but that's okay." This keeps the focus on their inconsistency without escalating the situation. Similarly, if they attempt to shift blame, calmly say, "I hear what you're saying, but I think it's important to focus on the facts." Stoic philosophy emphasizes rationality over emotional reactions. By using calm logic and measured words, you disrupt their cycle of manipulation. Narcissists are unprepared for subtle yet firm responses because they expect emotional defensiveness or submission. This method quietly calls attention to their behavior, leaving them exposed without the satisfaction of control. Over time, they may regret targeting someone who sees through their tactics and refuses to play their games. 6. Living authentically. Narcissists often expect people to prioritize their needs and desires above all else. When you choose to live authentically, aligning your actions with your values instead of conforming to their expectations, you disrupt their narrative and deny them the control they seek. Living authentically means staying true to your principles and not compromising your integrity to appease others. For example, if a narcissist pressures you to make a decision that benefits them but conflicts with your beliefs, you calmly stand your ground. Your refusal to bend to their will sends a clear message. Your life is yours to lead. This authenticity is rooted in Stoicism's emphasis on virtue and inner strength. By focusing on what truly matters to you and ignoring their attempts to manipulate, you cultivate a sense of freedom and self-respect. Narcissists struggle to manipulate those who prioritize their authenticity because it's a power they can't override. Instead of feeling trapped by their expectations, you shine as a person who values truth over control. This often leaves them regretful as they realize they've lost influence over someone who refuses to sacrifice their individuality for the sake of appeasing others. 7. Outgrowing their influence. Narcissists thrive on maintaining control over their relationships and environments. When you focus on self-improvement and personal growth, you naturally begin to outgrow their influence, leaving them powerless to manipulate you. This evolution is something they never expect, and it often leaves them feeling regretful for losing control over someone who has moved beyond their reach. Self-improvement might involve advancing your career, pursuing a passion, building meaningful relationships, or deepening your emotional resilience. Each step forward distances you from the narcissist's grasp, as their tactics become less effective on someone who is evolving into their best self. For example, if they once used guilt or criticism to hold you back, your newfound confidence and independence render those manipulations ineffective. Stoicism teaches that true strength comes from within and that personal growth is a lifelong journey. By focusing on your goals, virtues, and aspirations, you rise above the narcissist's attempts to tether you to their world of control. Outgrowing their influence doesn't just frustrate them, it makes them realize they've lost the power they once held over you. This transformation leaves them with a deep sense of regret as they watch you flourish in a life that no longer includes them. 8. Maintaining your inner peace. Narcissists thrive on chaos and emotional reactions. They expect their provocations to elicit anger, frustration, or despair, feeding their need for control and attention. However, when you maintain your inner peace, remaining calm and collected in the face of their tactics, you deny them the satisfaction they seek and leave them powerless. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of ataraxia, or tranquility, as a guiding principle. By staying grounded in your values and focusing on what you can control, your thoughts, actions, and emotions, you neutralize their attempts to manipulate. For instance, if a narcissist insults or blames you, respond with measured words or choose silence instead of reacting emotionally. This calm response disrupts their strategy, as they expect to draw you into their web of conflict. Instead, they are left facing someone who is unshaken by their provocations, forcing them to re-evaluate their approach. Over time, This consistent display of peace and strength diminishes their ability to affect you. Maintaining inner peace is not about ignoring bad behavior, but about choosing your response wisely. It shows that you value your well-being over their drama, leaving them to regret their inability to disrupt your equilibrium. In the end, your serenity becomes your greatest strength. 9. Surrounding yourself with support. One of the narcissist's primary tactics is isolating their targets to create dependency and control. They rely on cutting you off from friends, family, or supportive networks, leaving you vulnerable to their manipulations. When you actively surround yourself with genuine connections, people who value and uplift you, you deny the narcissist the isolation they need to maintain their power. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of building relationships rooted in mutual respect and shared values. By fostering these bonds, you create a strong foundation of support that helps you navigate challenges and maintain your independence. Friends and loved ones can offer perspectives, encouragement, and even a reality check when the narcissist tries to distort your sense of self or manipulate your emotions. Imagine being part of a community that celebrates your growth, validates your feelings, and strengthens your resolve. This environment not only makes the narcissist's tactics ineffective, but also shows them that you are no longer reliant on their approval or attention. Instead, you are thriving in a circle of positive influences, leaving them on the outside, regretting their inability to control or isolate you. Building this support network is an act of defiance against manipulation and a commitment to your own well-being. The stronger your relationships with others, the weaker the narcissist's influence becomes. 10. Choosing long-term happiness over short-term revenge. Narcissists often expect those they've hurt to retaliate out of anger or bitterness. They thrive on drama, believing that any form of engagement, even negative, is a sign of lingering control. However, when you prioritize your long-term happiness and growth over short-term revenge, you achieve a level of freedom that leaves them regretting their actions. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what truly matters and to avoid being consumed by temporary emotions. Instead of plotting revenge or dwelling on the hurt they caused, redirect that energy toward creating a life of purpose, joy, and fulfillment. This might mean pursuing personal goals, developing new skills, or simply embracing moments of peace and gratitude. When a narcissist sees you flourishing, unbothered by their past manipulations, they're left with the realization that they no longer hold sway over your emotions or decisions. Your indifference to their chaos and commitment to your own well-being is a powerful statement. Revenge might feel satisfying in the moment, but lasting happiness and success are far more impactful. By focusing on your growth and refusing to let their behavior define you, you take control of your narrative. This long-term approach is not only empowering, but also leaves them to regret losing someone who now thrives without them. If you've made it this far, comment, "I choose freedom and resilience," to let me know you're ready to reclaim your power and live on your own terms. Remember, narcissists thrive on control, but by setting boundaries, thriving without their validation, and living authentically, you take back what's rightfully yours: your peace, your growth, and your joy.